So this was the exercise, complete and balance the equation. We did the first 6 pages, I think we did. Yeah. So we did first 6 pages from this, starting with page 7. First one, copper to nitrate is made by reacting copper to carbonate with nitric acid. One of the product is carbon dioxide. Write a chemical equation for the copper to carbonate with, it is copper to carbonate. So copper to carbonate, what is the formula? Copper, yes, you can use any part of the screen to complete this. So copper to carbonate, first thing, writing a correct formula. Screen annotation not working for you. Just let me check. Is it working now? The screen annotation. So copper to carbonate react with nitric acid, give copper nitrate plus water plus carbon dioxide. But this equation is not balanced. You will score 1 mark. Then second part is balancing the equation. So as you can see, we have two like oxygen 3 multiplied by 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 9, 3 are there. So we put 2. So we put 2 here so that all will be balanced. So copper to carbonate react with nitric acid, give copper nitrate plus carbon dioxide plus water. In question 25, complete a chemical equation. So this is a chemical equation for a decomposition of metal nitrate. So if we decompose copper to nitrate, first you have to complete a product before balancing. First part is always completing a product. So if we have copper carbonate, copper nitrate is there. We supply heat energy, decompose into oxygen, nitrogen dioxide. What else will be the product? So the product will be copper oxide. The first thing is completing an equation. Second part is balancing. You cannot just start balancing first. So otherwise it won't be correct. So first you complete an equation, then copper, you have 2 copper, you put 2, copper is balanced. And oxygen, 3 multiplied by 2, 6, and multiplied by 2, that is 12. So you have 4 multiplied by 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this equation is balanced for all the elements. The next equation is a similar equation. Copper to nitrate undergo a thermal decomposition. You have to balance this equation. The same equation is there. This is the same equation. When 2 molecules of copper nitrate are heated, it will give 2 molecules of copper oxide, 4 molecules of nitrogen dioxide, plus oxygen will be there. So you can write 1 here. 27, write a chemical equation for thermal decomposition of copper to carbonate. If you decompose copper to carbonate, what will be the product? You can use your mic, chat, screen annotation to answer. The thermal decomposition of copper to carbonate. So first, writing a correct formula, copper 2 means copper valency is +2 and carbonate is CO3 -2. So copper carbonate will be CuCO3. When it decomposes, whenever metal carbonates are decomposed, it will form metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. So copper oxide will be there. And what is the formula of copper oxide? Copper is +2, oxygen is -2. So the simplified formula will be CO. And then carbon dioxide is CO2. This equation is already balanced, so you don't have to write any coefficient for balancing. In 28, ammonia is made by reacting nitrogen with hydrogen in a Haber process. Write a chemical equation for formation of ammonia in Haber process. Keep in mind that Haber process is a reversible reaction. So first, nitrogen and hydrogen are reacting. Hydrogen should be H2 and nitrogen should be N2 because both are the non-metals. Non-metal exists as a molecule. So N2 plus H2 gives NH3. Then the equation must be balanced. So the balance equation is N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. And you have to learn the reaction condition, the temperature at which this reaction is carried out. Like iron is used as a catalyst, 450 degrees Celsius centigrade, and we use around 200 atm. In question 29, propene can be produced by cracking of a long chain alkane. Pentadecane means like 15 carbon atoms are there, can produce an alkane and a propene as a ratio of 1:2. Like it will produce 1 molecule of alkane and it will produce 2 molecules of propene. So 2 molecule, prop means 3 carbon. So 2 molecules of propene should be there. Then the equation must be balanced. This is not the balance equation. You have to balance the equation. So what should be, if 2 molecules of propene are produced, then how many carbon atoms are there? Out of 15, you're using 6. So how many carbon atoms are there for alkane? Out of 15, you're using 6 carbon atoms. No, it won't be 12. It cannot be 12. Why it cannot be 12? Because it is 2 multiplied by 3. 6 are there. So out of 15, 6 are already used here. So it will be C9. And how out of 32, how many hydrogen are used here? 12 hydrogen are used here. So it will be not 26. 26 is also not correct. The thing is, whenever you are completing an equation, you have look the left hand side and the right hand side for a cracking should be same. You have 15 carbon atoms. Out of 15, 6 are used here. So how many we are left with? 9. And out of 32 hydrogen, we use like 2 multiplied by 6, 12. So how many we are left with? 20. So it will be C9H20. Is it clear, this one? So you have to check how many carbon are used total and how many hydrogen, and remaining will be the alkane. And as I mentioned, there are 2 molecules of propene. That's why we write C3H6 and 2 molecules were there. That's why this 2 was there. Use the screen annotation to balance this equation. Remember, this is a similar one what we have just discussed now in the mock. 6 multiplied by 2. This is 12. And then this 2 is also multiplied here because this is for 2. So balance this equation. For this one, you can start with any of them. You can start with oxygen followed by hydrogen and then other element, or you can start with any order because you already have all the products. So nitrogen, are how many nitrogen are there? If you want to balance nitrogen first, so you check 4, this is 2 and multiply by 2, 4. So nitrogen is balanced. Then you can also balance zinc. You put 2, so zinc is also balanced. Then what about hydrogen? How many hydrogens are there? So this is 6 multiplied by 2, 12. And then 12 is multiplied by 2 makes 24. So we want 24 hydrogen. So it should be 12 there. So now this equation is balanced in terms of all the elements. Is it clear, this one? So the water of the crystallization, if it is written CuSO4 dot 5H2O, it means there are 10 hydrogen and there are 5 oxygen. But if there are 2 molecules of that, it means this will become 20 hydrogen and it will be 10 oxygen, like in the water molecule. 4 carbon, 4 oxygen are there with sulfate, but in terms of water, I was talking about. Then salts that are insoluble in water can be made by precipitation. Lead 2 iodide is insoluble salt. All nitrates are soluble and all sodium salts are soluble. You are provided with a lead 2 nitrate and a solid lead iodide, a chemical equation for precipitation reaction. We need chemical equation. If they ask ionic equation, in that case, we just write the change in ions. But now it's a chemical equation, so we have to include all of them. So first we have a lead nitrate. And lead nitrate is reacting with sodium iodide. So NaI. As a result, the lead will take position of a sodium. So it will form lead 2 iodide, PbI2. Because lead is +2, so an iodine is group 7 -1 plus sodium nitrate NaNO3. Because this is a chemical equation they ask, so we have to write accordingly and then balance the equation. So this is the balance equation. What if the same question was there and they asked write an ionic equation for this formation? So if they ask for ionic equation, if the question was write an ionic equation, so we will just simply write for lead iodide, which is a precipitate. It is formed by a formation of a lead and 2 iodide. In question 32, concentrated aqueous potassium chloride undergo electrolysis. So if we have concentrated potassium chloride, so there's a potassium ion, there's a chloride ion, and it is aqueous, so hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Negative, always less reactive positive ion will move towards the cathode, so hydrogen will move. This will be the equation. Because it's a concentrated solution, so there is more Cl and less OH. So the positive electrode, the chloride ion will move there. When 2 chloride ions, they will lose 2 electrons. Yeah, you can write 2C. You can also write the equation. And then name the remaining compounds of what we are left with. So Cl is removed, H is removed. So what we are left with? We are left with potassium hydroxide. Then sodium hydroxide is reacting with sulfuric acid. What will be the product? Alkali is reacting with acid. So it will form salt, sodium sulfate. Because sulfate is -2, so sodium is group 1, and sulfate is -2, so sodium sulfate will be Na2SO4 plus H2O. So yeah, that was the right